Good evening, everybody. How are we? Welcome to Try It Out Tuesday. I hope you're all having a good week so far. We're going to be doing some card making this evening, so if that sounds like your kind of thing, stick around. We're going to be using some Inkaballs, some Distress ink, and some Bee Crafty Stamps. So let's get started. We'll just wait for a few people to get involved. I'll get my phone set up so I can see your comments. And if you have any questions or queries or anything you want me to answer, I will of course do my best. Just let me know. Okie dokie. Where are we? There we are. Alrighty. Hello Shaz. Hello Alison. Hello Jan. And anyone else I may have missed. Are we all good? I do hope so. Alright. So, my thought was, there is still, in my opinion, hello Lynn, in my opinion, there's not enough entries in Sally's challenge over in the Bee Crafty Stamps group, so I thought maybe somebody's looking for a bit of inspo. Now I have to say, the entries that are already in there are absolutely stunning, so also have a look at those. They might give you a bit of inspiration too. Bearing in mind, you can also go onto the Bee Crafty blog, and you could put in the little search box at the top, you could put blues, and then a lot of the projects that the creative team have made in blue, for example, will come up. So that will give you a lot of inspiration in cool colours, okay? So, make sure you're using those tools and resources that are there. So if you are looking for inspiration, you're looking for a specific thing, the Bee Crafty blog, where the creative team uploads so many wonderful step-by-step tutorials, is a really good place to start, because you can search something like blue or green or yellow, for example, in that, and that'll give you some ideas. You can even search a distress colour, because they are step-by-step tutorials. Obviously the fantastic creative team put the different colours of distress they've used, so you'll be able to see a specific colour if you put it in there. Obviously also I try and put as much inspo as I can on the Bee Crafty YouTube channel, so do check that out, because you can always follow, copy what I've made and just use a cooler colour, alright, or a cooler colour selection. Okie dokie, so I thought we'll do a bit of card making tonight. So I've got some cut out bits ready to go. I've got some journaling essentials too, because I'm thinking I might want to stamp them on. I have picked a leafy Dinkable from Dinkable set 6, okay, because I think it goes very nicely with these. At the request of the DT, there will be some templates coming with these sorts of shapes on, but that's not imminent as yet. These things take time. I mean, we did New Grandes last week, and I have also got out, because I feel like I haven't played with them in forever, and I hate it when people say that, because obviously it hasn't been forever, but here we go, I've said it anyway, is my Inkable 6x6 mandalas. Okay, so hello to anyone else I've missed. I see the numbers have gone up, but I can't, anyway. So I've got these two mandalas here. If you haven't seen the mandalas before in the Inkable 6x6, you get an innie and an outie. So you get the mask and the template to go in these. And that is so, if you want to ink up, for example, and make sure you keep outside of your mandala free of ink, you can do that because you've got that mask there. Okay, so it'll just mean all the colour is inside. So whether you're using a blending brush or a blending tool or even your spray, that's going to protect the card around the outside. Okay, but we're not going to use those today. We're just going to use some of the insides. Now, I won't lie to you, today I don't have a plan as such. I know which products I want to use, but in terms of a plan, that's a little bit further on. So, actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start applying a little bit of colour. So I'm going to take my cracked pistachio and I'm going to put some in the middle of my Super Skinny Slim. Okay. I'm also going to put some Mermaid Lagoon and some prize ribbon. Okay, I'm then going to take my mini mister. And put more water on them than I really wanted to. And then I'm going to put a thumbprint on my card. So I'm going to quickly flip it over. Do you know what? No, we're not. We're just going to embrace it. I'm going to put that onto our card. Okay. Oh, I did have a question come this week while that's sitting on there thinking about drying. We did have a customer this week buy themselves a lovely new set of Super Skinny Slims, which I think everyone should do because they're fabulous. And bless her, we got a message asking why are they blue. Okay, so all of your Super Skinny Slims will come to you like this, and yes, they are blue. Okay, because they have a peel away protective sheet which is blue. So if you want your Slims to be perfectly clear, you can take those off. Some people, for example Charmaine from Dolly Dimples, she leaves her blue on, she says, because it makes them easier to find. So for example if she drops it, it makes it easier to find. Or you can, for example, take it off one side, so you know you've got that perfectly smooth surface for your stamps, and leave it on the other. Or you can just take them both off like me. But that is something I just wanted to address while we're here. Right, so I'm going to grab my drying board. We'll get our heat tool. And sometimes doing something like this, if you like very simplistic projects in cards and things like this, something like this is a great way of just adding that colour. And then, for example, you can take something like your clock, and then just put like a sentiment on, something like that. You know, you can make it really simplistic in that way. But and I know lots of people do. I'm just going to tip that down, just get those drops moving a little bit. I just think it gives a bit of interest, and it helps you dry them quicker. Sarah Lou, I leave one side on so you can find it on my desk. Exactly. So although we say peel them off, you know, we never say you have to peel them off. It's more peel them off if you want them to be clear. Not clear, colourless. So obviously they're still clear with the... Hang on. Okay, so for example, if I just heat that a little bit from the other side, just to flatten it back out again. Okay. I think we can all agree, if you were to take that as a card, you know, onto your card blank, with something like Stitch in Time, and maybe put a sentiment across there, that is a perfectly legitimate project and a really nice card. Okay, you know me, I'm a firm believer in the more is more, but I'm not saying everyone has to be. That, with a little sentiment or a banner going across behind it, would be absolutely beautiful. Okay, so, but you know, as was previously discussed, I am me, so no. Okay, so from here, you've got that lovely sort of pale, like I said, I overwatered, but you know, what can you do? So I'm going to take this mandala. Now, if you order mandalas from the website, they will all have the numbers in the corner. Mine are from the very, very original ones, and they don't have the numbers in the corner. So I can't remember which numbers I'm using, because I haven't labelled these ones like I have with all my Dinkables. But here we are. Alright, so I'm going to use this one with some Mermaid Lagoon. As you can see, I'm not going in for lots of colour. We're doing sort of like a soft. Just sort of like an impression of it, as much as anything, because I don't want to cover up all that detail. So you see, you've now got the mandala detail without losing anything else from underneath. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn this around. Turn your project when you're working on it. It makes your life so much easier. We're going to go with our cracked pistachio. I still consider this quite cool because it's more in the blue side. For example, pine needles is a very cold green, whereas you can start moving over. See, I consider forest moss probably a bit warmer because it's got those browner tones into it. Ice spruce is definitely more bluey. But I will say, if you are entering into the challenge, you know, no one's going to go in and double check what colours you use, okay? But it is just a general cool colours theme. Alright, so again, we're going to do this nice and lightly. And bear in mind, I don't work directly on to my cards generally. I always work on panels. Because then, if it doesn't go how you want, it doesn't matter. You've only lost the panel. Depends, if it's the card, it wouldn't matter to me either. But here we are. Right, that has gone a little bit greener than I wanted, obviously from the brush. But again, we're just going to embrace it and move forward. Okay. So there you go. So that's Inkable Mandala 3 and Inkable Mandala 4. And there is now a multi-buy deal on the Inkables 6x6 where you buy 3 and you get 10% off. We just want to make sure everyone's able to build up their collection as they want to. Okay, from here we're going to start adding the leaves in. And I'm going to use this leafy one from Dinkable set 6. And again, you do get the mask and the template with this one, which I think makes it really good. I did a big journal page on it not so long ago. You can check that out on the YouTube channel. Now, what I wanted to do was use the green with the mandala and the blue as the leaf, just to sort of mix that up. Okay? Because you would, of course, expect it to be the other way around. So this is where you start placing things over, for example, the thumbprint you put on earlier that you didn't want. Remind you, at the minute, we're just building that background. We're not committing that any of it, any particular section is going to be seen yet. It's all very up in the air as to what part of this is going to be viewable. Got lots of elements there. And then you've got, and the thing is, just by applying less or more ink, you can see I've only used one ink pad to do all of those leaves, but you've got so many different tonal changes. Okay? Which is great. So there you go, we'll put that to the side. And now we really want to be thinking about how we're going to put this together. But again, you look at this here, okay, and in reality, you see you could put a little birdie there, sentiment on, and you're good to go. Okay? Don't put the birdie there, put a sentiment on. I think you're good to go. You know, there's lots of different things to do or not. Okay? Now, we're going to start adding some things on and decide how we want them to be. Okay, so for example, I really like the pocket watch there. I did get this Doodle Art mandala out, but I do think with the pocket watch as well, it might just be a bit too much. The only thing I could do is put that in instead with the bird on top. But I do really like the pocket watch, so I think I'm going to bring that back. Or do I? I don't know. I've just seen that on the screen now, and now I'm not sure. And this is why it's good to have bits out to play with. Do you know what? We'll come back. Just to make it easier on myself. I'm then going to get some of the Journaling Essentials. I don't know why I said that the way I did. Journaling Essentials number 2. Okay. And we'll get the top leaves from here. And I'm not going to stamp over with the prize ribbon because we've already got the prize ribbon there. I think it'd be good to go in with a bit of the cracked pistachio. But we're going to stamp multiple times, okay? So we're going to go... and a little bit more. And that is looking really good now. And then I think I'm just going to take, look on this Journaling Essentials here, this sort of little spattery section. Okay, I'm going to use all 3. So do you know what, we'll start with the lightest. I'm going to get my cracked pistachio really lightly. We're just going to add some little sort of dashes. And then we'll go with the Mermaid Lagoon. And you really can't overestimate the importance of some of these smaller stamps in your collection, because they just help you build up the texture and layer underneath in a really quick and easy way. And I like results quite quickly. It just gives that work over each one. Especially I think if you're not confident in adding like dots with yourself with a pen, I think it just enables you to do that in a really cool funky way. Let me lift that up so you can see all those awesome little dots all over. It just adds something. Okay. Alrighty. I've decided we are going to go with a pocket watch from the A Stitch in Time collection. Okay. I think we're going to not go in the middle and not go on the left. Sort of, you see where these dots I've put here? I think if I just put, for example, those 2 circles seem to fit perfectly into there. Those 2 little cogs. And I think it's obvious to everyone that wasn't necessarily part of the plan. Alright. And I am going to leave that in black and white. I was tempted to add something to it, but I am going to leave it in the black and white. I think what I might do though is I'm going to add a little bit of blue to this bird here and see how I feel about it. If I don't love it, I don't want to keep it, I'll get another one. But I'm going to add a little bit of these corresponding colours to this birdie. So I'm just going to watercolour in. So I'm just going to add a bit of water. So you can tell I used fresh water today, can't you? Okay. A little bit of that. I'm going to work that in. And maybe the cracked pistachio around here. and some of the Mermaid Lagoon at the top. Pistachio down there too. All right. Let's move that over here so I can get my drawing board back out. Okay. So, thinking if I just lift that out here a second, I'm thinking I might just sit a little bluebird on there, and then bring in some of these pre-cut elements from the Journaling Essentials too. Sort of layer up and over. Okay. And what I will say is, if you're crafting and you're doing your layout, and then obviously you need to take it apart to stick back together, take a picture with your phone and then come back, and so you've got that reference. It really does make everything just so much easier. You know, it just does. It just does. Now what I am going to do is I'm just going to grab my white pen, okay, and I'm just going to do a little bit of detail on my sketchy bird. On the sketchy bird stamps there is also a kingfisher, which I really like. It's really fun to use. The reason I didn't use the kingfisher on this one is I personally think he's a bit too big for that pocket watch. But you don't have to think that. That's what I think. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in a card, and I'm going to try, unsuccessfully, to lift all that off kind of wholesale, so that's in the format we want it in. And then I'm going to get some sticky back foam, and we're going to work on building this card. So yeah, so if you haven't made anything for the challenge yet, or you have only put one thing or maybe even two things in the challenge, you can do up to 3. So you could win a £20 stamp voucher, which is great, and you can use that on current stamps, on the end of line stamps, totally up to you. And we have added some more stamps to the end of line in the last week, so make sure you check those out. We have to make room for new ones. As I've said before, as much as we wish we could just have everything we wanted, we can't. Okay. So like I was saying earlier, with this. So look at all the different layers we've created here. Okay. With that background, okay, you could quite easily go to your small words. I am going to put live, learn and create. Oh, I even had a little piece of card. Where's it gone? I don't think it's actually a little, it's the bit I cut off for the front panel. I don't think it's as little as I need it to be, but it's going to be alright. Live, learn, create. Okay, we're going to stamp that up in black so it matches the stamping of the elements there. I'm going to put that. I'm just going to give that a little heat set. And when I say a little, I mean a lot. Okay. And then with my super sharp scissors, I'll cut that off. I'm going to do a little flag at the end of this one. Okay, think about it. If you put that on there, what's wrong with that as a card? Absolutely nothing. You could put just the bird. What's that? You put the bird here. The sentiment not coming out of his tail, that would be weird. You know, and you would still have a really nice complete card. Okay? But we're just not going to do that. Alright, so I'm going to use my collage medium here. And that's so I can move things around. Okay? So what I'm going to do, still isn't. I'm going to get this here. You also get that bit of dimension. Okay? There's my spatula. There you are. So, I'm going to get my matte medium. And where did we like it? You see, we liked it there, didn't we? Just with those two sets of dots almost framing those cogs. And then we had that one just in there. Put that in there. And I will say, fussy cutting this out doesn't take half as long as you think. The reason I know that is if it did take as long as it looks like it'd take, I wouldn't do it. And then just lift that up. Put that one there. And then I'll just put our little bird standing almost on like that little clock there. And with the beauty of the matte medium is it doesn't matter if it seeps out a bit. I'm only doing that because I'm stingy with it and I don't want to, because it dries matte, so you don't have to worry. And then my sentiment, I'm going to put down here over this little mark that I don't really like. So it's just going to come off the layer slightly which I really like, because I think it just gives something extra. Okay, but I still feel like it needs something else, so I apologise for reaching across. I know I always do this because I forget something I want to add. Okay. We're fastly approaching that time of year where sequins become addictive, but that's okay. And I'm going to pick out, no, I'm just going to do the 3. Okay. And because I use them so infrequently, means I've always got loads. Put 1 there. And put dark blue one there. The greeny blue one there. And the other dark blue one over here. Put that down there. And then what I'll do is I'll lift this up so you can see it a little bit better. So, if you haven't got your Cool Colours card in yet, bearing in mind, so for the challenge, it doesn't need to be a card. It can be a card, it can be an ATC, it can be an MDF project, it can be a journal page, a scrapbook page, anything. It can literally be anything, as long as it's made using Bee Crafty Stamps. And using Cool Colours, of course, for this month. So, go, have a go. You could win a stamps voucher, which is awesome. It's really, really good. So please, go and have a play. Use it as your jumping off point for making something this week. When you don't know what to make, well, Bee Crafty are doing something with Cool Colours, so I'm going to start there. It gives you somewhere to go. And again, if you have a specific distress colour that you would like to use, maybe you haven't used, my advice would be to go onto the Bee Crafty blog and put in the search box whatever that colour is. So for example, go on and put in it prize ribbon. Okay, and then all of the creative team projects that have been used prize ribbon will come up on that search, so you can check out all the posts. Okay, and again, you can do that with names of stamp sets as well. So for example, small words, you can go on to the blog and put wordage small words, and all of the projects using the wordage small words will pop up. So do check out the blog. It is a fantastic resource for inspiration. Alright then guys, thank you so much. It is Sam in Crafting Together with All Brands this week at 2 PM on Thursday, so make sure you check that out. But we will also make sure, of course, that it goes onto the Bee Crafty YouTube channel. Please make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. It's really good, and we like it, and it's a place to catch up on all the lives. We are trying to do more and more unique content for there, but that takes time. And yeah, keep an eye out for everything that might be coming up in the next little while at Bee Crafty. As always though, if there's anything specific you would like to see, please do get in touch and let us know what it is. Alright then guys, thank you so much. Bye!